Alright guys, this time I'm gonna recap most of the things that I've said previously, because I did one mistake, which is fuck up the audio of previous two videos. It's kinda a bit too quiet, I would say, or my friend would say, and I would recognize it as well. But I will just leave it as it is, so people would kinda see what I was up to anyways. I don't really want to remake it or just amplify the sound. It kind of works. If I would want to amplify the sound, I would have to re-upload the videos. Sometimes it takes too much effort to fix mistakes, and you can't just use this effort to move forward. So here's what I came up with. I must not stop and stumble on my mistakes. I must move forward, whatever it takes. This thing, it's easy to remember. Not to make fixing mistakes a mistake that I make a lot of times. When I'm programming, I tend to stick to the game because of the mistakes, because of the problems it makes me solve, and sometimes I get stuck even deeper and deeper, and it's a perpetual bullshit. But sometimes when I move to something else that I'm more passionate about, and I'm usually passionate about things that are easy to do, it's weird, right? As a programmer, as a problem solver, why I would want to make easy things happen, but it's not really easy as it seems. It just, that's why I would want to move to things that look easy, but what kind of problems will they make for me? And usually the biggest problem is how to make things faster. So there are other problems that you should be solving instead of just trying to fix the mistakes that you have made. You certainly have to learn from your mistakes to move forward. You have to constantly learn, but also have to constantly move forward and not look back too much on what's going on what bad things you have made. Okay, it's in the past, you have to learn from them, but you have to move forward as well. You don't just erase the past either. And I tried to make a video which was too long for me to actually say that it's a good video. So there are a few drawings which I will explain, or hopefully I will explain better and faster, right? I made a mistake, but I'll just move forward. I'll leave that one behind. Anyways, I wanted to recap what was going on because my friend watched the video, found a few mistakes. One thing is when I talked about the alpha people. And now I realized, like, this is the basic need that people have. I would want to go into the movie Twilight a little bit, because Twilight, the very first part of it really showed me a few things which were interesting. The very first scene of Twilight was an animal running through the forest, running away from a threat, but eventually getting caught by who knows what. Really, I didn't pay attention, but it was a few hands sticking out, I don't know, but it was caught. It kind of, because Twilight is such a love-based story, I can't think of anything else but like a metaphor for hunting itself. Like Edward, the main male, would actually say that, oh, I am a lion and you like a lamb, and how can we be together when I'm trying to like eat you and everything? It's a crazy love story, isn't it? But this is a great metaphor. This is a great thing, trying to combine things together, which doesn't really make sense too much. But it's like hunting. It's not hunting itself. Males don't really hunt themselves or partner, but rather kind of seek. This seeking part is kind of close to the truth, which is you do use a lot of tactics in order to achieve whatever you're looking for. Now, my friend had a criticism about this part, that it's not the main thing in life, that it's not, the girlfriend is not the main thing, and I would totally agree. I mean, I was with this mindset for a really long time, but it's the most basic of needs that people have, and if you don't fulfill your need in very deep level, no matter how many boxes you stack on top, no matter how many achievements you get, in the basics of level, I feel this way, that I kind of need that person to kind of just spectate me or something, just constantly bring passion into whatever I'm doing. If I would be trying to achieve something greater in life, like this, not just this basic thing, but I would kind of need still this basic thing. I would need another person to always look that I am actually achieving things, would support me and recognize what I did, so, or witness, you know. So this way I kind of have to come back to the roots and say, well, I guess I have to kind of start from the very beginning, because if I'm trying to achieve something greater, I'm not sure if that's gonna work. That's what I stumble upon, that I don't really have enough passion to work, but I do have enough passion to work on this challenge in life and fix my life in general so I could move on. Yeah, it's kind of weird for me, for other people maybe. Now the next part that was not really clear enough, I would say. I certainly understand what I was saying, what I meant at least. Anyways, the height of the wave is an amplitude, as my friend would remind me of. The length of the wavelength or frequency. So in both ways, if you increase the amplitude and decrease the wavelength, you would reach the greater value of something. Let's say you're working on something, let's say like making paper or something basic as that. You would make more paper if you reduce the amount of time you have to spend. You also make more paper if you make more paper in these amplitudes, right? If you increase the amplitude of papers made by one wave or one action. Also, you can make better paper by increasing the amplitude, which is more likely to be better than just more of the same. So, if you do it better and if you do it faster, you reach more value. That's what it means. And the red pill, I don't know. How does that connect to everything? Well, I actually would say this, what I mentioned before, but people tend to normalize things. People tend to, instead of going this all the way, which life gives, life tends to get like really amplified if you take it all in. But if you drink a lot, if you use a lot of substances, you can actually normalize life and not take it all in. You can just get the basics and just move on. Especially when the system doesn't really require you to survive. It provides things for you, so you can normalize it to the point where you're actually kind of considered dead like your life is an equivalent of a rock. A rock does more life than you. It's kind of weird, right? Anyways, these are the points that I wanted to recap. I mean, it's very important to understand that there are people that tend to normalize things, and there are people that try to survive around other shitty people, around people that just drain energy. Because if you're so energetic and you see others not passionate about life at all, your energy is getting drained. It's really destructive if you don't find the right people that just want to move on with the pace that you are moving, and even improve as you improve. As well as I talked about the point that sometimes in the virtual world we can't really connect too well, but in the real world we kind of force it out because it's so hard to deal with. But I would say that the point is that if you can't connect with someone in a virtual world, it's not really you shouldn't bother yourself too much going forward at that point. Why do I say that? Because each time I would get stumbled upon this disconnection that we would have, that I have so much control here, right, and this is like this expression of thoughts itself. You don't really interact in the real world, you're kind of interacting through thoughts. You're writing things down, but it's really a thought process that's going on. That's why in real world I would be a little bit more introverted than in this virtual world, which I kind of mastered. And if someone cannot be or just take my level, I can't respond too well, just try to suck energy, like that's probably what they are in real life as well. That's a very good test that you can give. Just try to send a message, even though it doesn't work that way too well. Even the real world like lets you pick up women that way, I don't know. But I guess that's one of the other tricks that women do, like they tend to be attractive in the real world. It's weird, because real world, it's more real. I have more control in the real world. That's what women try to make of it. And this herd mechanic, like they tend to be in herds, so they would be harder to catch. So they would be able to choose which person is the right one, right? So they would have some kind of control what's going on. And this control-seeking personality that sometimes grow out of the women, it's really fucked up, to say the least. I mean, they have this ability because they have to survive, they have to achieve this basic thing, this basic need in their lives. And if it persists, it can grow out into some really crazy women, to say the least. If it's like your mom, which is trying to control your life too much, well, you can have an example now. But it's really difficult, isn't it? When the story gets a little bit more personal, it's a little more difficult. The third point that my friend pointed out is the work mechanic, that you actually get some reward by being good at school, like trying to get good grades and everything kind of rewards you, right? I don't think that's the case. You don't get immediate reward. You get this recognition, you did everything right, you didn't make mistakes, which is fucked up, because if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. And how can you achieve things in life if you don't learn? Doesn't make sense. Some people even try to cheat, right? Some people try to cheat to get good grades, but they just fuck up their life. They make a mistake by cheating and not learning at all. It's sometimes good even to cheat. It's sometimes good to be in balance of everything. Like, I would draw this and explain how religion and atheism are like in these different parts of understanding what religion is, or the value of religion. The only way you can extract the value if it's you that standing between of things. That's why, yeah, now I just hit me so well. One scene where Bella, the main hero of the story, I would say. I mean, always the main hero of love story is a person that is emotionally experiencing things. And I would say like Twilight is just so unreal. Like, this is just like a wish for an eternal love, which you have to become a vampire to have this eternal love. And I would like remove the letters and change them into B, wanting for the C, and C doesn't really exist yet to the standards of this life. Just C is just too great to exist. It's like our imaginary dream type of people that we want to get or something. But anyways, in the balance of things happens the most experience. So that's why I see like Bella like this strong personality, or depicted as a strong personality, like standing in between like really different people. Like, there are two different teams, right, that come out of the movie. Team Jacob and Team Edward. Like, you know, but it's standing between those two teams that provide the greatest value. That's why this is kind of feels like forced thing. At least I watched the Harness trailer and like, this is the most forced love triangle ever. But that's really the point, actually, of having this amazing experience, is being between 2 points which are the opposites, but you are being in between and you're seeing how they interact together. It's really cool. And the same thing about religion and atheism. They kind of try to interact and negate themselves, but this whole interaction, if you just start to understand, religion has a few good points, atheism has a few good points as well. If you just collect whatever values around these concepts, you stand in between of things and you get value. The same thing I would say about 50 Shades of Grey. And why would they take a number 50 like it's between 0 and 100, the most common of health bars of all time, right? It's like, and gray, the color gray is in between black and white. It's like the ultimate balance of everything. It's kind of fucked up how well it's made. Although it's rejected by men, of course, because it's not really practically impossible to have this kind of love story. And it kind of makes them jealous because it shows the standard that women want, which is impossible. But if you try to get to that standard, it's good enough, actually, I would say. Because some women are trying so hard to get anything. I would get into Facebook, I would research a lot of girls, try to find something interesting there in Facebook. I sometimes stumble upon profiles which are hypersexually, you know, or sexualized, basically. Just talk about this basic need, just try to, oh, you need this, that means that you need me, like, because they over-sexualize their looks, their behavior. You know, you know what this sign means, the fuck you sign, but yeah, it's also a sexual sign as well. If you're drawing penises on someone else's notebook, you know, it's weird behavior. It kind of shows you your need either to understand the concept that you're trying to draw or trying to interact it with other people. It's weird. But it shows the desperation, I would say, that you go so low to achieve this. Anyways, so I would continue and talk about my great interaction with the girl that I met through my friend, and once I had to confront my friend because I said that, well, I couldn't really send messages to him, and then when I sent it to his girlfriend at the time, like, it was really different. I was able to connect with her and was able to talk about all the problems that she also saw in him. And then I talked with him and said, you have so many problems. The biggest one that she said, and I just couldn't said it to him. I don't know if I did. I kind of can't remember. It's so significant, though, that he would block everything, try to control so much of what she does. But basically, any messages that she would get, he tried to read them, and, you know, not let anything go through. Like, okay, I'm a hunter, I went for the forest, I went for shopping, now you're in my cage. Okay, I got you, right? Even though she wanted it, but now he thinks, oh, I got you because I want this simple life. And he would just continue on controlling her, and she would try to control him back. Like, this is a perpetual control of bullshit. When I stepped in, it immediately went into a breakup phase. I confronted him, then I met her. We didn't really talk about their relationship. He didn't want to talk about it because he wanted to normalize things. He tries to lie to me and everything to explain things like they not really are that way. So I didn't feel this honesty, didn't feel this wish to analyze the relationship, so I couldn't talk with him. Next thing, I would find out that her birthday's coming up soon, so I wanted to get her a birthday present, which usually is a drawing of a personality analysis. I would analyze a person and I would draw something, you know, like this little kid that would dress up differently, that would look differently, like this animal self. I don't know. I had made only 3 drawings. I made one of her, of him, because his birthday was not a long time ago as well. His birthday is on April 1st. Her is on April 23rd, I would believe. Now, I also had a drawing of this person, which I will talk about a lot later, and about what I drawn as well. It's so significant that I do things, and whatever I do becomes super significant. I have drawn this thing, which is a wheel of life that I shown to people in order to understand their personalities. Whatever they answer, however they are able to solve problems, which I represent in this wheel of life, which is basically a collection of a lot of symbols. So it's interesting how they are able to analyze the symbols. I would ask, what is the 5th element? And there would be 4, like water, fire, wind, and earth. And where's the fifth one? And the fifth one would be hidden in a deeper level. Like this is the outer level, it's like 4 elements, and this is the level which is surrounding all the energies and everything. I will explain all of this later. I will go to one concept really quickly. Hopefully it's gonna be not too confusing. I know you will not understand it fully, but it's just very interesting thing that I found out about her choice, because her choice of energies was the crystal and her choice of elements was the fire. She was actually able to find out what is the fifth element. I remember, I hope. But also she chose light instead of the darkness. The darkness is the women energy in general, which she tends to want to light, to take light. And this is my showcase of how physics work. If you take this as a white surface, the light would just bounce off completely, giving kind of two directions that are going on. So the light surface would be twice as more powerful as the dark surface, which completely sucks in all the light and has only one direction going in, but not out. And this kind of explains things, because some energies like to be consuming and some energies like to be reflecting. Like males, because they want to be more active, they would reflect on their own experience. If I would play too many games, I would really want to make my own game, because I would feel good. Why not to share this experience with everyone else? And I feel like I can improve on the concepts, right? So I would reflect games that I would create. And it's pretty interesting to think that way, that you would choose light because it's much more powerful energy, and this blackness like reminds you of consumerism, but it's okay. It's okay to consume things at certain level. Now, what I mean by a certain level, there's a weird concept. There are two energies among 7, two basic energies that I will try to explain one concept for you as quick as possible. There's energy of body and there's energy of crystal. The crystal is almost like this personality development part of your life, which happens from when you're 3 years old up to 10 years old, and you're trying to become this best personality as you can be. Like you're sucking in all the stuff that surrounds you. You try to mimic things, you try to learn words, whatever the phrases. You don't really understand what it means, but you're trying to be reflective of your environment. But I figured out that the best personality, the ultimate personality type, even though girls tend to be better at sucking in things, sucking the experience in, and don't take it as a pun, please. The sucking part, yeah, a vampire. That's why Bella chose to be a vampire. Anyways, alright, let's continue. But the best personality is not the one that sucks in, but that reflects the light, because the best crystal is the one that reflects the beauty of itself. That's the best personality as well, like the one that can reflect how good it is. So the best personalities goes for the male type. The best personality development goes for the females. For the girls, right? The girls tend to learn things faster, but only at this period of 3 to 10 years, I would say. That's where I would argue. It's all just a theory. This wheel of life was created and gave all these fucking theories for me. Like I would just put a symbol of body energy, a symbol of crystal, and all of this would come, all of this information. So in general, the best way to explain it is that women learn faster, right? But males are the ones that are out there, like the most recognizable personalities. They're the most heroic, they have the best body, but not the body to be the best, to have the best body, right? Because women can only have better bodies. They have better bodies. They're designed to have the body. Women, males have bodies so they could survive. They tend to do exercise and everything, and they get muscles so they could survive. That's why they're attractive when they have enough muscles, because they are just generally can survive things better. But in general, the best personalities are males, because they have the good body and they transform this body. They're able to do great things with their abilities. They have a purpose. So if I have this bionic arm that can destroy things, I would actually make it so, like, oh, it creates flowers everywhere. You know, if I have a skill, if I have developed something, I can only become a hero if I use it. That's why women cannot really be heroic, because their bodies can't be heroic as well. It's weird when women try to be heroic. It's certainly interesting to see how it works, but I just see that it doesn't work that way. That we are in this perpetual cycle of women become males and males become women. Like, what is going on here? The last concept that she chose, like the fire, right? And okay, should I explain it later? Nope. What is the purpose of fire anyways? Like, the fire usually burns down the forest so it could rejuvenate the forest, like recycle all the dead things in the forest, and the forest can regrow all new and good. So it's not bad. Forest needs fire to destroy the leftovers. The same thing happens with the B and A type energies. Like, if you are the B type energy, you have so much energy, and you slow things down, you become a little bit A at certain days. You feel that there is so much energy that you're not wasting. So that's why a person would love fire if they could burn the energy constantly, whatever the leftover they have. That's how I feel about her. Like, she would want to do things, but she's not capable of doing them because she surrounds herself with A personalities. I remember when she gave me a comment like, "Oh, I become a crazy bitch when I'm with someone." That's something that I will discuss about next time. Yeah, I tried to do as fast as I can, and I still didn't hit it. I still hit over the 30-minute mark. But yeah, there's so much to talk about. Everything's so well connected that it's so difficult. I hope this explains why these videos are so long, at least to my friend. But yeah, see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.